Good morning, beloved. I am Justine Conley of Justine Inspires, and you have joined us for Word Up Wednesday, where we interview people who are making inroads into the kingdom of God and who are doing unique and uh, just incredible, making inroads in ways that many of us haven't even thought of. And so today is no different. And our speaker today, or our interviewee today, is no stranger to Word Up Wednesday. She's an author. She's a TEDx talk speaker. She is a pastor. She's a minister. She's a former professor, and I can go on and on. She's a wife, she's a mother, and she is none other than the extraordinaire woman of God extraordinaire, Reverend Dr. Catherine James. Let's bring her on.
Good morning.
How is that for an intro?
I love it. I love it. It reminds me of what is it? I can't remember where it's from, but it's "Look What God Has Done."
Look, but
Right?
come
Look,
on, now,
look,
come on
look,
now,
look,
come on
look.
now.
Because I take it all. Like I don't shrink to any of what you said. I'm not one of those to become. Oh no, no, no!
Mm,
Don't say that. No, no,
look,
no. Say
yeah,
it.
say
Because
yes.
look what God has done.
Look what God has done. And I think it brings glory and honor to God when we own ourselves, when we own
Yeah,
our gifts and
yeah,
abilities, and we
yeah,
step into them fully, not proud,
yeah,
but passionate, and said,
yeah.
okay, Daddy, look,
Yep.
like you said, look what God
Look,
has done.
look what God has done.
So
Ooh,
look what,
I'm loving it. I'm ready for more.
yeah, yes. And so let me just start by saying this is as I came into 2024 on the 28th of December, that's when my new year shifted. So mine is not about a calendar, it's about when God said, okay, now we're ready to step in. So what he showed me was, to Justine, I want you to tap into my imagination.
Oh yeah.
Woo! Come
Oh
on
yeah.
now.
Oh yeah.
And dream my dreams. Now think about that.
Stop. Wait. Okay. Yeah, wait. You just okay. Keep going, but just keep going. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. Keep going.
But I just want to start there. That and then I said, Catherine, what's our topic this morning? And you said
Quantum leaps.
quantum leap.
God, Papa God told me that this is my quantum leap year.
Come on.
But this is what my first lives of this year. I had put in the title to talk about unlimited possibilities, or our possibilities, and looking into the new year's unlimited possibilities. But every time I would open my mouth, what I would end up talking about is lean into the dream that the creator has dreamt for you.
Woo! 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 Now that will preach. That
every
will preach.
every time I was like, okay, maybe I need to retitle these, but unlimited. There are unlimited possibilities when we lean into. And so I first heard this phrase from Oprah, and then because I've now been like consumed with The Color Purple, I've been watching other interviews of her, and I heard her now explain. I got the lean into the dream last year. And I think at the end of early last year, at the end of last year, I got the explanation. And what she says is, one day it dawned on her that God's dream for
Ooh.
her supersedes any dream she can have for herself.
Oh my, come on
So
now.
forget
Come
the
on now.
dream she had for herself. She
Mm.
gonna she wants the dream that Papa dreams for her. So the only dream I want to fulfill is so this is leaning into his imagination. The
My
only dream I intend to fulfill is the dream he imagined for me. Is the dream he sees for me. Is that so every day it is about me discovering, diving into, lean into the dream that he dreamed for me and taking it by force, like just going for it. So yeah,
going forward. And Catherine, you said something I think is just so powerful. I just want to take a moment and say, come on and say hi to us. Your hi matters to us. We love it when you say hi. If you're catching this on the replay, or if you're catching this live, put it in the chat. Tell us where you are calling or chatting from, or sending us greetings from. And I can't always see it because I'm on my phone, so I can always see it. But good morning, Laverne. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We're glad you're here. I
wow.
know Marvina is here. Hello, Facebook user. Good morning. And so come say hi. because we are on to something. And I just want to say this to you. If you take one thing away, if we went off the air right now, we've already said a mouthful. Captain, repeat that again. Hello, hello, hello.
Which one? Lean into the dream that
lean into the dream.
Lean into the dream
God is dreaming.
That God has dreamt for us. Lean into that dream. Like it's this idea that we have our own dreams, and that's wonderful. We must dream in order to continue to grow and that kind of thing. But when I think about the dream I have for me, and then the dream that Papa dreams for me, I'm like, okay, we can set that dream aside. I want this dream. So I make myself available to have the download of the dream that Papa dreams for me. Because any dream that I dream is going to be limited. His has no limitation.
I love it. And here's the other thing too is we come into the new year with all these great ideas, with all these fancy dancy things. And one of the things the Lord has shown me, he said, Justine, I will give you your daily portion. Because my thing is, I have a fear of missing out, right? Well, why am I not there? And so that has been a real help for me, is saying, Justine, ain't nothing missing, ain't nothing broken. Everything I have for you every day, I'm going to get to you. Well, okay. So this whole idea of, see, God imagined us. I can't say it. I'll say it every broadcast. God imagined us.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
And so we're in this year-long read of the Bible, and we're in Genesis, baby.
Yeah.
It's all bets are off. All bets are off. And so think about there that what he dreamed for us. And so Kevin talked to us about going from the promise of God to the actual living out this promise, because that's big.
So when you think promise, I think Jeremiah. I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. Plans to, let me say, let me find it over here. I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord.
Declares.
Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Now we could talk about any scripture, but that's the one that just came to me. So when we talk about going in the direction God has plans for us, our responsibility is to be available for those plans. So first of all, you got to get quiet. There was a quote that I heard years ago by Richard Foster, and he says, the devil majors in noise, hurry, and crowds.
Ooh, come on, say that one more time.
The devil majors in noise, hurry, and crowds.
That is the truth.
So if we always noisy, we can't hear the voice of God. We're always around noise. If we always do and move and run, then we're not still in the inside, and we can't really receive from God. And if we're always in company, right? We hear their voices more than the voice of God.
Yes.
So we need quiet. We need still to settle down, and we need alone time with ourselves so we can hear our own thoughts with ourselves. This is not prayer. This is not meditation. It's none of that. This is you and you quiet, because you got to know what you're saying to you.
Yes.
What you're saying to you, because what you're saying to you will position you to receive what Abba has for us, or it will reject it.
Come on.
And this is the thing. One of the things that I say in my book is tell yourself the whole truth. Tell yourself. You don't tell nobody the truth. Tell you the truth.
And so God can hear. God can hear and handle that truth.
God can hear and handle it. God can hear and handle it. But this is the thing. Sometimes we deceive we deceive ourselves into believing that we believe something that we don't believe.
Yes.
Right? I'm gonna slow that down a little bit. Sometimes we deceive ourselves into believing that we believe something we really don't believe.
Yes.
And the only way that we really know that is this thing called metacognition. Thinking about our thinking.
Come on. Thinking about our thinking.
Metacognition. Thinking about our thinking. So that's me, like, Kathy, what was that thought? What this is me. This is how we process in metacognition. We think about our thinking. So I'm stopped. Okay, you just had that thought. What was that thought? Okay. Where did that thought come from?
Come on.
Is that thought true? Does that thought serve you? Do you want to keep thinking that thoughts? Do you want the harvest of that?
Ooh,
If not, you need to think another thought, honey.
come on. Wow. 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 That's good. That is good. Hello, Laverne again.
Right.
Good morning. I
Morning,
love that.
Levon. That's Levon.
That,
Levon.
what is that?
Levon. That's Levon.
Levon.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I can barely see because
No worries.
but thank you. But we're glad you all are here. And I encourage you again to pass this on. We were talking about they did a experiment, Kathy, and
Okay.
they took a story that wasn't true, and they wanted to figure out how quickly it could go viral. But how many times do we pass up the effort or the idea or the opportunity to pass on good things that's going to help and make someone whole and help someone heal?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
metacognition,
Yeah.
thinking about your thinking.
Yeah.
Come on now, and using a whole litany of questions that you ask yourself.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And how important it is. Tell us one of your books again, Kathy, or both of your books, where that's found, because I think that's really important.
Okay. So self-love, the gift you give yourself is my seminal, it's my original work. And here it is.
It's very simple, it's straightforward, and it's powerful.
Yeah, it's my original work. And so that's where you can get everything that I talk about at any time is these concepts. So it's interesting because as soon as I finished my dissertation, when I tell you, Justine, I got the approval in my email. I turned around at my desk and then God just downloaded the title to these chapters. I wasn't even thinking about writing a book.
Wow.
But this is what he said to me in that moment. He said, you have spent most of your adult life repeating the same things to your friends, to those you run into, to your colleagues, to whatever. And then I didn't know that I was called to help people to be free. Like I didn't know in their thinking and in their emotions. I didn't know that I was. He said, now I'm gonna need you to discipline yourself because there are people who need this and who will read this, who you will never, ever know exist.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right?
So that's where this came from. He gave me that. And my latest work is Freedom is Our Birthright. And this look, after 5 degrees, having taught thousands of students, having serviced thousands over a career of 36 years, and all kinds of love. In 2020, I discovered that there was scarcity that had always been playing in the background.
Ooh. Wow. But you said something, and I asked earlier, how do you go from the promise or the dream to the actual? These are steps right here. You missed a couple of things. You said quiet.
Yep.
You have to listen to your own thoughts.
Yep.
And know what you're thinking.
Yep.
You talked about discipline. These are just some of the things that are important to live into what God has given you. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony. Good morning. Yeah. And so then the other piece is you got quiet, you know what you're saying, all of those things, dispel the lies about you and be in action. Decide. So decide what you want. Decide what you want. Decide what's yours to have. And then make a pre-decision that you're going to get it no matter what.
Can I say something? I'm going to put something right there. And I thought about this. I woke up and I was thinking about all of this is I was sick last week.
Okay.
And I wanted to, they had the MLK breakfast that I'd read about, and I knew the date was coming. And I didn't buy a ticket. And I wanted a ticket, right? And so I said, Lord, I need a ticket. So I knew, so I started calling around a couple people. He said, now, you said you need a ticket. I got a call on Wednesday. The breakfast was on Friday. Justine, I got a ticket. Do you want to go? So that little small thing of a ticket to the breakfast. And I knew I wanted to pay the $50 or $40, whatever it costs. I didn't want to pay that.
Yeah.
That little small belief, right? That I knew that somebody was going to call me with a ticket.
Mm-hmm.
That's what God is asking us how he's asking us to trust him, but to be in action. I was waiting, but I was also waiting in anticipation that it was going to come.
Yes. Yep. You had already decided that it was yours.
I already decided.
You already decided. So make a pre-decision like, if there's anything I've learned, Justine, it is that we are so much more powerful than we give ourselves credit for.
Yes.
We really are. Like, divinity really dwells within us.
Mm.
But we've given more worship, if you will, to doubt and disbelief than to the divine, right?
Mhm.
Because we major in doubt and disbelief. I can't, I won't, I don't. This thing happened, and so I could, da da da. As opposed to, but really lean, not just reciting the scriptures, but embodying the scriptures.
Yes.
Says that, and greater shall you do. Like, greater. What does greater mean for you? And so I get it. Like, we have stuff that happens in life, and life happens, and then we don't believe and we think we can't. But I'm just more and more in my life, I'm like, wow, really? Nothing is impossible for what Papa has preordained for me. Like, all I want is mine. I don't want nobody else's. I just want mine.
I
And if I'm
just
going,
want mine.
I want mine. And if I'm
But you
going after,
really, you
I'm
said
sorry,
I
go ahead.
can't. That people rehearse over and over. I can't. I won't. I don't.
Don't, right? And so that's a form of, like, if we're focusing our attention on that, if that's what gets in on my live this morning, I'm like, you know what? I just decided to take limitations off center stage in my life.
Mm,
I
mm, mm.
just can't have center stage no more.
Come on.
What you mean you can't? What do you mean you can? If that baby is in your belly, you didn't put it there. Papa put it there. He's
Come on.
already made the provision. He's asked you to be in action. Even when we run into obstacles, that's just to build the muscle. But keep going. Stay in action. I mean, so many steps to your question. Like, get support. Write the vision, right? Make it plain. Get clarity around it. And be like at home with failure and mistakes.
Come
If
on.
you don't fail at something, then you're going from your vision and not God's. Because
Mm.
you're supposed to fail when you're going trying to fulfill God's dream for you. Because of course you can't do it. Of course you can't. But
And I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
the potential is there. So whenever I think about this, it always brings me back to a baby. Like, when babies are first learning to walk, we would never say to them, stop trying. You done failed 1,000 times.
Just stay down. Just stay down.
Just stay down. That's a ludicrous conversation. But at some point, we start telling ourselves that.
Absolutely. And then, as we tell ourselves, the enemy starts to participate.
Oh, yeah.
And so we forget that we have a roaring lion enemy looking who he can devour. And so, but Catherine, also what happens is we say we believe it. We say we believe God, but the reality of how we live our lives is not. They're incongruent.
Yeah.
They're just not.
Yeah. 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 And I get that, right? I get it, because I had to, what I learned in my life is, like, I wasn't always a glass, like, I'm a 9/10 full kind of person. I have to take the shades off for real. I just want to believe. I just want to trust. I just want to love. I just prefer to believe that, so, but, I have to take the glasses off sometimes, but, I prefer to keep them on. Anyway, but I lost my thoughts with my 9/10 half full. What did you just say? I don't even know what you just said.
About how we have
we don't believe.
And we don't believe. Like, but you talked about that limitation has to take its off of center stage. Unbelief. But I got in touch with again. He said, morning by morning, new mercies. I might have failed 10 times yesterday. But he gave me another day, another opportunity. And he said, get up.
Get up.
Get up.
Get up. See, get up. Like, whatever you bring, it's your contribution. When I'm clear about that, I'm okay with what I bring. So it's the idea of keep growing, keep expanding, keep trying, get back up, because we're going to fail. Anything we don't know how to do, we got to learn how to do it. But but that learning process is a process of becoming.
Yes.
right? It's a process of becoming. And so but we've been taught in the opposite. We've been taught that mistakes and failures are problems. Think about our school system. We reward those who get the most right.
Right.
We don't reward those who try really hard.
Mm-mm.
We don't reward those who fail over and over and over again in the try. Think about that. Fail over and over and over again in the try.
Wow. Wow.
Every try gives us something. Every try, we learn something. Like I failed so much, if we're going to use those words, in these last 3 years in trying to build a business. Like I failed at doing things on time. I failed at doing the things I said I was going to do. I have failed at, making my opportunities available to people. I failed at being able to leverage the support that I failed in so many times, but you know what I keep doing? With every failure, I get a grain of insight and awareness about myself and the next step in the process. So I've embraced failure to my next learn.
Oh, you said so much there, and I everything you said, I'm thinking, yeah, me, yeah, ooh, yeah. But what happens is, here's where the enemy comes in.
Okay,
convinces us to live in shame.
Yes.
Say over and over that the enemy brings condemnation,
Yeah.
and God brings conviction.
Yeah.
There's a whole big difference.
Yeah.
And if you don't know the difference, you will live in that shame place.
Mhm.
And so, but it also says, I boast in my infirmities or my weaknesses.
Mhm.
I got that last night thinking, oh, I don't want to. Oh, I don't want to. Okay. But again, when we can, and I heard some of the teaching is just get better at your weakness, get better. They said, no. Master your strengths.
Yeah.
Master your strength.
Yeah.
That which you do well, master it.
Yeah.
Don't spend all the time just trying to get better. There's nothing wrong with getting better, but don't forget get to the right place.
Yeah.
The other is, I think, Kathy, is you talked about the failures. Is they're only failures if we don't learn a lesson or learn something. You said I got one more insight into who I am. And you went back to tell yourself the whole truth.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Yeah. So, but here's the point I want to make is Steve Jobs, I think, did a message at Stanford, and he talked about being a college dropout and that being fired from Apple, the company he helped start, and then coming back to Apple. He said, but what I realized is you can only connect the dots in hindsight, not forward. Right?
I love that.
The other is failure is not failure.
Mm-hmm.
We just think it is. So, so Steve Jobs talking about how he failed, but what he learned and how had he not been fired, he would have never have started those other three, Pixar, or Next. He would never have started those companies. Mm-hmm. So we have to see it in light of what it is. Yeah, the grand scheme, God's scheme of things, and not just ours. Here's the last piece I want to just take from what you said is go back and remember some of the places where we have succeeded, and remember that God was faithful there. Like I said, as I'm reading this Bible in a year, we're looking at with each major place that they came to, they created a tabernacle, a place of remembrance. When they came back to it, they could remember what happened at that place. And so that is, I just think, important. As part of our quantum leaping.
Yeah, for sure. Remembering, right? Remembering. So I don't even know where this is getting ready to go, but just
that's okay.
Just as I was thinking about remembering, like I got this, what came to me was remember you and Papa in the creation moment. Like that might sound crazy, but that's exactly what just came to me. Like remember, you remember, because we are divine beings too, which means we're not limited to our memory from what happened here on earth.
Ooh,
Nothing
ooh,
about what I'm saying here, but this is just
ooh.
what I'm hearing, right? We're not limited to our remembrance of what has happened in our earthly experience. That sounds crazy to me why I'm saying it out loud, but this is exactly what I'm hearing.
Wow. Wow, Catherine.
But we have the capacity from our divine component to remember
Glory.
that
Hallelujah.
very pivotal engagement between us and Papa in our creation experience.
Wow.
And if we can remember that, we
Ooh,
will stop shrinking.
ooh.
We will stop apologizing. And we will know that this is a part of a human journey we have to take of becoming. But everything that is necessary has always been. We
Ooh.
just need to remember.
Come on. Wow. 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 Ooh. 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 So this whole idea about God's imagination, like I say, remembering, because you see, we limit God to just this sphere, but there are so many different dimensions, and I hesitate to say that because that scares people,
I
not
know.
me, because I'm telling you, I travel through dimensions. You hear me
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
say,
yes,
and
yes.
it's like, okay, where am I? Who am I? Where am I now? Okay, because God is he is beyond. It says beyond our galaxy,
Beyond.
beyond
Beyond.
our imagination. But
Yeah.
only see we can. Oh, I think we know God mostly through revelation, what He
Mhm.
reveals. And so when we humble ourselves and come in close, He said, "If you draw nigh to me, I'll draw near to you."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
He said, "I can be found." In
Yeah.
Jeremiah 29:13, I can be found if you seek me with your whole heart. So my question is, Lord, what does it mean for my whole heart? Show me what that means.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I want to know you. And how can
Mm.
I dream your dreams
Mm.
and tap into your imagination if you're not showing
Mhm.
me stuff? It's like, and so
Mhm.
I have a tendency to want to get scared
Mhm.
thinking, whoo, and want to shrink back thinking,
Mhm.
no, enough. He said, no, 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 no,
No, no.
keep
It
coming.
is a little scary. Like it is
Yes,
a little scary. I'm gonna tell you, I want to read what Levon wrote. Remember where God has been faithful. Remembering is a divine tool. It helps us to stop shrinking. We get to remember who we are in Christ.
come on.
Isn't that
Woo,
beautiful? All right,
yes,
Levon. All
thank
right.
you, Levon. Yes.
Yes.
Keep
So
chiming in, keep chiming. That's good. Because
right.
we're here together and we trust and value what you bring to this forum. And I love, I can talk to Kathy for about 5 days and it still won't be enough. And then I got to catch my breath and then catch it again and then catch it one more time. So because I just so appreciate not just the nuggets, but the revealed word.
Yeah.
Ooh. And,
Yeah.
and you know it, and you feel it in your soul
Yeah.
when it's Rhema,
Yes.
when you
Yeah.
feel it,
Yes.
because the connectedness to the divine.
Yeah.
Come on now,
Absolutely.
wow,
Absolutely. There's no separation there.
woo,
There's
woo, woo.
there's no separation. And as we are, I'm
Wow.
just like, I'm just like, Papa, I walked off my porch the other day. Well, I walked in this office and I can't remember what I thought about, but immediately I felt fear. And I said, "Oh, that's fear. That's fear." And I sat down and I was like, "Okay, I know what that is. We got to keep moving. That's fear." And then
Ooh,
I walked off my porch. I was walking off my porch. There's a whole bunch of snow in Michigan and it's icy and whatever. And I just remember thinking, I'm done with that. Not that I'm done with fear, because fear is a part of our lived experience, but I'm done with giving fear so much space that I'm just hesitating and hesitating and hesitating until I've missed the opportunity.
wow.
Until I've missed the opportunity. Um, I was saving this for this class that I am teaching starting on Tuesday, but this I think I just need to say it right here. Let me see
Say
that.
it, say it.
Let me see that I take a picture of this thing. That it's about. It's the thing that God has given me about procrastination. I heard somebody say it, and this is how I'm going to open this class on. It's called Procrastination or You on Tuesday. It says procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God owes you another opportunity to do what you had time to do.
Ouch.
That's what this whole class is going to be based upon. It's the arrogant assumption that God owes us another opportunity to do what we had time to do.
The arrogant
The
assumption.
arrogant assumption. And so when I was walking off my porch, I'm like, I'm done. I'm like done
Wow.
with fear, like robbing me of whatever. I'm so done with that.
My God.
So done with that. So done. I'm a pom-pom girl. I'm gonna take a pom-pom everywhere I go. It might not fit, but that's what I'm gonna do. It's who we gonna be. It's how we gonna show up. We taking pom-poms. Wherever we go, we gonna take us some pom-poms. Okay.
I love it. I love it.
And so
I love it.
Right. So yeah.
Wow.
Oh, the one thing I wanted to say is so talking about alignment and making ourselves available to the things that are just like kind of scary. We talked about like the more aligned we are, it can get a little scary because what we understand with our rational brain, like I don't care about that. Don't care about the rational brain, whatever. And so, but if you tap into me, I'll show you some things. I'll take you some places. I'll make you available to you in ways you've never been available to you. Then you become available to those who I have created you to serve. So I walked in my office, and I have a bookshelf that's just my spiritual books, my religious books, right? And I saw this book. I saw this book that I promise you, this book had, I don't know where the book, it was just sitting here. Anyway, I saw this book, and this book had been on my bookshelf probably for, I can't even tell you how many years, probably easily 7 years, right? I don't know that I've ever looked at it, but I was drawn to it. So I pulled it out, and it's Spiritual Intelligence, SQ, Spiritual Intelligence. I opened the book up, Justine. I promise you, with everything that I know and am, I opened that book up, and the page I opened it up to, what was it talking about? Quantum. I opened it up to page 83. I'd never read this book because I write in all my books. There was no writings in this book. And what jumped out at me was does the brain have a quantum dimension? That's not a small thing. That is not a small thing. That is not a small thing. This is sowing and reaping all day and all night. Do not be deceived, beloved. God is not mocked. Whatsoever we sow into, we often see that in a negative thing. But whatever we give our energy to, whatever we focus on, this is coming from a spiritual, from a clinical perspective. If you focus on whatever every day, that's what you get more of. I heard God say quantum. I'm putting it up on my wall. Heard God say this is your quantum leap year. 2024 is your quantum leap year. And then now, because I'm focused on quantum, I walk in this office. There's a book. Energy, right? We think this stuff is spooky, but this stuff is in the Word of God. We have almost like aborted God's power in His Word because we're taking the science out of it.
Yes.
If you take the science out of the Word, you have no power. You have no steps and no processes. You just go and you feel good on Sunday, but then you don't know what to do with it because you've taken the structure of how to leverage it out.
Ooh, come on.
And so because I have put the science back for my own life, I walk in here and I'm drawn to this book that has been in this shelf forever. And I open it. That's just God's
waiting for you right now.
It's like wink, 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 confirmation. Yes, you heard me.
But that's who our daddy is. See,
That's
what
who our
he
daddy
said, he said, I will establish your plans.
Yeah.
I will establish. And we take that out and take that lightly about his established. And, and that which I have established.
Yeah.
What?
Yep.
Can come against it.
What?
And there is nothing.
What?
You know,
what?
I said, there is no one greater than me. I can swear by myself. And so that power has been placed in us.
But Justine, We can.
I'm grateful. My God. Ooh.
Justine, you said what can come against it? Like who can come against it? We can come against it. Nobody else can come against our own lived life, fulfilling God's dream, but we can.
We can.
That's what we have to be careful about. It's
Yeah.
not like when we say, anybody who comes to say they did this to me, they did this, they did no. I hear you. What's your part? What's your part? Because that's the only place you got a power. You got power. What God has for us, nobody else can stop.
Except us.
Nobody. So we can go for a job, right? Go for a particular role that we want. And you can literally see other people like in the background saying, no, not her. Or you read something, you find out somebody was against you and you say, well, I didn't get it because of them. They don't have that kind of power.
Wow.
They don't have that kind of power.
It's a perceived power, but the truth is, what God got for is yours. And we got to get that. We got to get that. We have to get that truth down, way down in the city of our soul.
Way down.
And that we get out of our own ways.
And then we can have a peace in knowing,
wow,
things are always working out for me. Okay, so and it's okay to feel bad for a minute that I didn't get it because I really wanted it. I thought so. It's okay to feel bad. It's okay to have that. But and I give myself permission to feel bad for this window. Then I'm like, okay, suck it up, Buttercup. Get about the business of being you.
Our time is up, unfortunately. Oh my gosh. We just getting started. We're just scratching the surface. What? Kathy, thank you so much. Oh my gosh. This has been so good. And the quote, the arrogance.
Oh yeah.
Think that God owes us another opportunity to get it done in the time that we've already had. My God. Ooh, I'm repenting after here. So can you hear my confessions after here?
Me too, Jess. Me too. Like what they say, God brings the word to the preacher first.
Yes,
if
Lord.
You want to be honest about it. Everything that come out of my mouth is coming to me first.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you
for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Oh my God. When I want to say anytime, I mean anytime. Thank you for joining us for Journey with Justine and Word Up Wednesday, where we bring you people who are making great inroads into the kingdom of God. We have just been with Reverend Dr. Kathy James, and she dropped some nuggets. And so I would encourage you to go back and listen to this on replay. Send this to someone and just encourage them, because this was encouraging to me. Go and be a blessing and know that you are blessed first. And so be a blessing, but know that you are God's beloved and there is nothing too good for you. And that go and dream God's dreams. Whew. And the last thing, I want to finish with this statement. Go and tap into the dream that God has dreamed for you. I will see you next time, beloved, on Word Up Wednesday. Blessings on you.